Barcelona defeat Eintracht Frankfurt 2-1 at the Spotify Camp Nou in the UCL. It feels so good to see Barca win a match in the UCL in that stadium. It had been over 3 years since Barca won a match in that competition in that stadium, and today they did it once again, and I'm just so happy, man. And I'm happy that Barca got revenge against Frankfurt for that Europa League exit a couple years ago. I'm just happy. And, 3 points today is massive. If Barca did not get 3 points today, it was going to look really shaky to qualify at all for the UCL. Honestly, if Barca dropped points today, I was really going to question our chances to qualify at all, even for the playoff. And I know we have easy fixtures, Copenhagen and Red Star coming up. Not Red Star, sorry, Slavia Prague. But still, man, you had to get a win today. And the fact that they did just makes me so happy. The game obviously wasn't perfect. We concede first. Once again, that's par for the course for this year's Barca team to concede first. But you know what? A win is a win. And I'm just happy that Barca walked away with the 3 points. And Europe, man, when I look at the teams in Europe, I'm looking at Liverpool right now. Their game just ended against Inter Milan. They don't look that good. They won, but they don't look that good. I look at Chelsea, who I think lost to Atalanta. They don't look that good. Bayern Munich look great. Arsenal look great. Real Madrid are in shambles right now. I've said I don't think Barca can win the UCL this year with that back line. But again, I don't see that. Obviously, Bayern and Arsenal, if we face them, they're going to be tough. And they're better teams. But apart from that, I think, if we can just get it together, and continue this good run of form, we're looking good. Now, am I saying we're going to win the UCL? No, I am not saying that whatsoever. But again, I'm just saying that if we continue to play like this, there's a good chance we can make it far once again in the competition. So, I'm just happy. I'm really happy anytime Barca get a win. And today, man, it just feels good. It feels really good. The Frankfurt fans, they tried to invade the Camp Nou once again. There was Barca socios reselling tickets. Luckily, those guys got caught and they were punished, but they didn't invade the Camp Nou. It wasn't like that game 3 years ago. The Barca fans showed up, especially in that second half, and it's good. It's a good day today. It's a really good day. Now, let's talk about the game because a lot happened in this game. It was a 2-1 game. A lot happened, so let's talk about it. First, we got to talk about the lineup. The lineup featured Joan Garcia in goal. We had Jules Koundé. I don't know why I blanked out there. Jules Koundé at right back. Cubarsí and Gerard Martinez as the two center backs. And then Balde as a left back. The same back line we've had for the past couple games. I think Hansi Flick feels comfortable with that. And also because who else are we going to play? Cubarsí is obviously going to start, and, Christensen, he doesn't start anymore, and our other center back, Araujo, went on a pilgrimage to fucking Tel Aviv. So, those are the only center backs we have available, and obviously, a left back, we have Balde. The two midfielders, no Frankie de Jong starting today, even though he came off the bench in the last game. He didn't start today. Instead, we had Eddie Garcia and Pedri as the two midfielders, and then the front four was Fermín López as a 10, Lamine Yamal as the right winger, Lewandowski as a striker, and then Rafinha as the left winger. It was kind of a little bit shocking not to see Rooney and Ferran get what's the word I'm looking for? Get rewarded. That's the word I'm looking for. Get rewarded for the performances against Betis on the weekend because obviously Rooney played amazing. To me, he was man of the match and Ferran scored a hat-trick. So today when I didn't see him in the starting lineup, it kind of made me question Hansi Flick a little bit because I think those two guys, after that game, should have maybe been starters. But anyway, Hansi Flick does what he wants, and I don't think he got it right today necessarily with the starting lineup, especially with the front four. But you know what? It's done now. There's no point in just striding over it. It happened. The game starts, and we look really good. We're looking good. And the same thing happened against Chelsea. The same thing happened against PSG. Barca started off the game looking really good. We're pressing well. We're keeping the ball. Frankfurt can't do anything. They're trying to, they're giving up the ball, trying to find a way to beat that high line, making those third man runs. We know how teams are going to play Barca. It's always going to be trying to beat that high line, especially a team like Frankfurt, who are not very good. So I thought in the first 10 minutes, we looked decent. We obviously had that goal that got called off from Lewandowski for offside. We were looking good. And then all of a sudden, in the 20th minute, Nathaniel Brown goes on the run of his life, and he plays a sick ball to Nauf, who also scored against Barca, by the way, in that first leg at Frankfurt in the game of the Europa League 3 years ago that I've mentioned already. Actually, no, I've mentioned the one at the Camp Nou. I haven't mentioned the one that was at home. But anyway, Nauf, who scored today, scored in that game as well. So he's actually, I think, the only player left from that team, that Oliver Glasner team that won the Europa League, that's still a part of this Frankfurt team. So anyway, Nauf gets the ball. Gerard Martins tries to get a toe on it. He can't. He gets inside position on Balde. Balde to me should be doing better there, and he has a great finish. Joan Garcia, maybe he could be doing better there. It's a tough shot to save. I mean, it's a really good finish from Nauf. And at that point it was 1-0. And after Frankfurt scored that first goal, after they scored their only goal, they were much better. They were honestly much better in that first half. We did absolutely nothing in that first half, and it was actually really hard to watch. If Barca would have lost that game, I would have been really pissed today. Because that first half was pathetic. Honestly, guys, it was pathetic. Apart from those first 10 minutes, like I said, everything else was pathetic. The high line just kept getting exposed like it has been all season. I thought it was going to be another game like Club Brugge. And I think if Barca today played away from home, they could very easily lose that game. Very easily could have lost that game. So after that goal, it wasn't good. We had a couple, there was a chance from Koundé where he passed it to Firmino and then the shot got blocked. We created a couple chances, but not a clear-cut chance. Not a chance where you said, oh, Barca, that was good. We did good there. That was a good pattern. Those were good patterns of play. That was good. Like, it just wasn't great, to be honest with you guys. I think Lamine Yamal in the first half was really, really bad. Couldn't do anything. He obviously lost the ball. I forgot to mention that. He lost the ball that led to Nathaniel Brown getting the ball and then making that run and then passing the ball to Knopf for the first goal. I thought Lewandowski was subpar. Didn't offer anything in the build-up. Was not doing anything. He wasn't even pressing. So I think overall our performance in the first half as a team wasn't good at all. I think Fermin wasn't good in the first half. Obviously, he came off right when the second half started for Rashford. So overall, apart from those first 10 minutes in the first half, it was bad. Like, really, really bad. We saw the worst of Barcelona under Hansi Flick. We had nothing going forward and we're getting exposed defensively with the high line. But then in the second half, we were a different team. It was this game is a definition of a tale of two halves. And right from the get-go, Barca in the second half came with a different intensity. And the addition of Marcus Rashford obviously helped because he had the assist for the first goal. It's a sick ball. Literally, and Marcus Rashford has played a couple of those passes this season. He played a pass to Rafinha, similar to that one against Valencia, when Barca obviously won that game. I think it was 5 or 6-0 or something like that. Or maybe, I think it was 5-0. Anyway, Rashford has done that a couple of times this season, playing those beautiful balls into the box. And that pass is crazy, man. Honestly, like, he could not have placed that better with his hands. If Marcus Rashford grabbed the ball and walked it to Koundé, I don't think it could have been a better pass. Like, and Koundé times his run perfectly as well. And that's a number 9 finish from Koundé. The run and the finish is like a number 9 for a right back who's not known for scoring goals. You know what I mean? Like, Jules Koundé is not a guy like Marcelo who's known as an attacking, like, do-it-all, going forward fullback. So for Koundé to do that, super happy, because Koundé started off the second half really bad. He had a bad header. He had a header that he passed back that was terrible. He had like a sloppy pass to start the second half as well. So Koundé's start to the second half wasn't good. He was looking really, really bad, really bad for Koundé to start the second half. But that goal just changed everything, man. And the crowd got into it, and the momentum flipped to Barca's side, and the fans started singing, and it felt like a Barca home game once again, because in the first half, it was looking a lot like that game back 3 years ago, where even though the Frankfurt fans obviously there weren't as many as there were in that game 3 years ago, because 3 years ago that stadium was full of Frankfurt fans, you could hear the Frankfurt fans. Like, I could hear Barca getting booed in their own stadium. So that goal flipped everything. It absolutely flipped everything. And again, I'm super happy that Rashford came in and did that, because Rashford is a guy who has received a lot of criticism from this fan base this season, despite the fact that he's been one of our most productive players. Oh, every Barca fan that actually knows Barcelona understands that Rashford isn't really a Barca caliber player. You're fucking talking out of your ass. You have all these, I'm not even going to get into it. The conversation surrounding Marcus Rashford's time at Barcelona has really frustrated me a lot. And I try not to talk about it, but I want to do a whole video on it. But anyway, point is, Rashford delivers with that pass. And then a couple minutes later, Jules Koundé scores again. Jules Koundé, this guy, man, what a beast. What a beast. And it wasn't a great pass from Lamine Yamal. It was kind of just like a rainbow pass into the box. And Koundé, he tilts his head back and just gets enough power on that shot to get it to the far post. Beautiful, man. It was beautiful. And that was 2-1. And that was all she wrote in terms of goals in that game. That was all she wrote. But in that second half, man, Barca looked so much better. The press was so good. Our press was so good. Like, Frankfurt didn't really create anything. They didn't create anything. There was a couple scares here and there, but again, it wasn't anything crazy. And I'm just really proud of the way the team responded. And, it's too many games in a row now where we go down 1 goal. It happens too often. I'm not happy about that, because that's just not a recipe for success, conceding first all the time and having to come back. So I wish that would change. I really do. But the way they responded against Alaves a couple weeks ago, the way they responded a week ago today against Atletico Madrid going down 1-0, and the way they responded today, again, it wasn't immediate like it was in those 2 games, but it happened eventually. So I was really pleased with the performance in that second half. Honestly, everything we saw bad in that first half, we saw a completely different Barca in the second half. And like I said, it just feels good to see the team get a win in the UCL. Now, talking about some of the players individually, Joan Garcia, again, should he be doing better for that goal? Maybe. I'm not going to put too much blame on him for that, because it is a good finish from Knopf. But I think overall, he came out of his box really well and claimed crosses. I think he had a solid game. Didn't make any crazy saves, honestly. Like, I can't think of a crazy save Joan Garcia made, because Frankfurt didn't really have that many shots on goal. So when I look at Joan Garcia, I think he had a good performance. When I look at Jules Koundé at right back, Like I said, I think he was obviously amazing scoring those 2 goals. He won us the game. To me, he's man of the match because you got 2 goals. He had a couple chances he created in that first half as well, putting in good crosses into the box. I thought he was good going forward in the first half. Obviously scored the 2 goals in the second half, like I said already multiple times. I don't know how many times I'm going to mention it, but did you guys know that Jules Koundé scored 2 goals in this game? I don't think I've mentioned it. But anyway, I think Koundé today was great. Honestly, I think Koundé has been great. A guy who's been heavily scrutinized by Barca fans, and rightfully so this season, including me, by the way. I've scrutinized Koundé. I've criticized him because his performances haven't been up to par. I think if you look at his game last week against, on the weekend, against Betis, getting that assist, you look at his game today, getting 2 goals, I think Koundé did a great job today. When I look at the 2 center backs, Kouarsi, I think Kouarsi was good. Is it the same Kouarsi that I'm used to watching, the same Kouarsi I saw last season? No. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys, just so you guys don't think I'm hating on Kouarsi. I'm not hating on him, bro. Like, he's there, he's available. He didn't go on a pilgrimage, okay? So, props to him for that. He's still on the team. He had a couple good tackles. His ability to play from the back is always going to be there. He sometimes is a little bit sloppy with his passing. He tries to head the ball back too much and it just never comes out right. He just sometimes doesn't give me too much confidence with, like, defensively. But I think today he was good. I think Gerard Martin was great, man. Gerard Martin has found his position. Like, Hansi Flick chucked him in at left center back in a couple games in the preseason, I'm pretty sure, or early on in the season, if I'm not mistaken. And we didn't really see him play there again. And now that we're seeing him in this role, I really like what I'm seeing from Eddie Garcia. Sorry, not Eddie Garcia, Gerard Martin. Honestly, he got a yellow card today, which did he? Yeah, I think he got a yellow card. I think he had a, yes. Did he have a yellow card? Maybe I'm pulling that out of my ass. Let me actually check that because I don't want to be wrong on that. So let me see. Lineup. Yes, I'm right on that. Obviously, when am I ever wrong? No, I'm kidding. But Gerard Martin did get a yellow card today, which obviously isn't great, but still, I think today overall, especially in that second half, he looked really solid defensively. Balde, he looked good going forward. I think he had a couple good moments. That left side was completely dead in the first half. It was completely dead in that first half. You know, we saw Rafinha and Fermin switch positions. Rafinha was operating more as a 10, and Fermin went out to the left on the first half. Flick changed it. So, obviously, that left side wasn't working. That's why Flick wanted to change it in the first half. So I don't think Balde did great in the first half. But in the second half, once Rashford came in, his connection with Rashford is really good. So I really like what I saw from Balde in that game. Honestly, I like what I saw from Balde in that second half. It wasn't perfect. You know, it wasn't perfect at all, but I like what I saw from Balde. The midfielders. Pedri was great today. He was really, really good. It wasn't a vintage Pedri performance in the sense that, you know, he didn't have that impact, I feel like, on the game. In the first half, he was the best player. In the first half, he was our best player. But in the second half, I think he kind of faded a little bit. But it's still an average Pedri game is like an 8.5 out of 10. Like when Radam comes out, and I'm rating players here with you guys, I'm going to give, if I have to give Pedri a rating, I would give him an 8.5. Because that's his average rating for me. That's just like a normal Pedri game is like an 8.5. So I don't think he was bad today at all. I think Pedri played a typical Pedri game, just a little bit lower level than we're used to. Eric Garcia. That was Koundé's going to get all the praise for this game, and rightfully so, because he was great and scored 2 goals. Eric Garcia was fantastic in that second half. I mean, the amount of interceptions he made, the amount of times that, you know, Frankfurt were trying to get out on the counter, Eric Garcia intercepted the ball and didn't allow that to happen and allowed Barca to keep the ball in Frankfurt's half was immense, man. It was honestly immense from Eric Garcia today. He was simply sublime. Honestly, I can't use any other word to describe what Eric Garcia did in the second half. Honestly. He's a guy who, again, he's not the flashiest player, but Eddie Garcia with a mask. He's like LeBron with a mask. You guys remember when LeBron wore the mask and he scored the 61 against Charlotte? This is maybe for my basketball fans, but LeBron, like, he's looking like LeBron when he wears the mask. So, and that's high praise for me because you guys know how much I love LeBron. Do you guys know how much I love LeBron? How many of you? I don't even know. Anyway, Eddie Garcia, really, really good. Moving on to the attack. Starting off with Fermin Lopez, who obviously came off in the second half. Didn't play the second half. I don't think Fermin was good. And Lamine Yamal and Fermin Lopez, there's something going on there, bro. I'm telling you guys, keep an eye out for that story. Keep an eye out. I'm going to be monitoring that story very, very closely because there's something going on. Every time Fermin Lopez does something, Lamine Yamal is pissed. He's fucking pissed. Shout out if you get that reference. But he's pissed. So, and I was pissed because I didn't like what I saw from Fermin in the first half. I think Flick was right to take him off. I honestly think he was right to take him off. Lamine Yamal, first half was bad. Like, really, really bad. Like, I watch these games very closely, and obviously I take notes for all these games. I have them right here. I go off my notes when I'm doing these match reviews just to make sure I'm giving the best analysis possible. So, my point in saying that is not to flex and act like I'm I'm superior to everybody else. But obviously, when I'm making videos, I want to make sure that I'm really analyzing this game and just making sure I talk about everything I want to talk about. So, point is, I watch these games. I say a lot to say. I watch these games very closely. I think Lamine Yamal maybe had one good pass in that first half. Honestly, it seemed like every pass he played was misplaced. It seemed like every single pass he played was misplaced. And Lamine Yamal is getting into this bad habit where every time he misplaces a pass, he complains about it. He complains about it. Like, his arms are constantly up in the air. So, I'm not too happy about that. I think in the second half, he had a couple good runs. I think Lamine Yamal is a guy who, you know, even on his worst day, he's gonna be one of the best players on the pitch because he's just that type of talent. But had the assist, obviously, it's a good assist. It's not like a crazy Lamine assist like we're used to seeing, but he had the assist, which obviously leaves this game with a contribution, so it's good. But I'd be lying to you guys if I sat here and said that I think Lamine Yamal had a great game today, because I don't think he did. Rafinha, obviously his intensity is there. He was pressing from the first minute, just rushing at the goalkeeper like he's a rugby player. I think he had good moments in this game. Had, you know, a chance that he could have maybe finished in that second half, which was a good play. Which was a good play from Rashford that could have backed him, and then he missed the cutback. But I don't think Rafinha was that good. I really don't think he was that good. And then Lewandowski wasn't good at all. There was no presence in the box. There was no build-up play. He looked slow. He's getting old. He's just simply getting old. I mean, it's just age, man. It's not my fault. It's just age. It happens to all of us. It's going to literally happen to every single one of us. So Lewandowski's just going through what everybody goes through, which is he's aging. You know, he's aging. So that's just the fact of the matter. The subs that came in, I thought Ferran Torres was great when he came in. Honestly, I think that sub was great. And I wanted to see him get rewarded, like I said, for what he did against Betis because he deserved it. And we criticize Ferran Torres a lot. All of us do. I have, you have, every single Barca fan has criticized Ferran Torres because he is a frustrating player. We all know that. But I think today when he came off the bench, he provided a lot of good things for the team. He provided a lot of good things. So I'm happy with the way Ferran played. Frankie de Jong came in. I was not happy with Frankie's cameo at all. He was trying. Here's the thing. No, I'm not going to say that because we all criticize Frankie de Jong for playing the ball back too much. He always plays a safe pass. Today he was trying passes forward. Only thing is they weren't really working out. He had a couple misplaced passes. He had a misplaced pass to Koundé. Had a couple misplaced passes. So it wasn't, and also one to Rashford. It wasn't the best game from Frankie de Jong when he came on. But again, I think he's kind of getting back into it still because he's coming off a couple games where he didn't play because of, you know, he was sick and everything. So that's that. Christensen came in, looked great. He wasn't the best Christensen on the pitch because Rasmus Christensen for Frankfurt is fucking gross, bro. That guy's disgusting. Did you guys see that running out in the second half? He was the best Christensen on the pitch because obviously Christensen didn't play that much. But Rasmus Christensen, one of the best fullbacks in the Bundesliga. They were saying it on the broadcast. They're right. He's one of the best fullbacks in the Bundesliga. He plays for Frankfurt, so he doesn't get enough recognition, but he's good. He's fucking good. So Rooney came in the 90th minute because, you know, he has one good game and Flick decides to bench him. I don't like that from Flick, man. I'm not going to lie. Like, you want to see players get rewarded. If a player plays well, play him again. You gave Rooney an opportunity and he proved you, and he showed you what he could do. So play him again. When he started a game this season, he did that against Betis. So play him again. But yeah, I mean, that's it. That's the game. Barca win 2-1. There's still hope to qualify in the top 8. We have to get 6 points out of the next 2 games, and it's very doable. It should happen. It's actually, it's what should happen. So, when I look at the league, Madrid are falling apart. We're top of the table there. If we win the next 2 games in the UCL, we're very likely to qualify maybe in the top 8, hopefully in the top 8. I know it's still tricky, but still. And then, who knows? Who knows what happens? But yeah, those are my thoughts on the game. Really, really happy with the way it went. First half was shit. Second half was a lot better, and Barca walked away with the win at the Camp Nou against Frankfurt, getting revenge for that game 2 years ago. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. What you thought about every single player. I'd love to hear it, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace out.